History top trump ideas. This is an idea using Henry VIII's wives, and you're going to make top trumps out of them. This is fun, it makes learning relevant, it uses your number skills when you have to give each category a score, and you only use key information. So this is just an example. You've got Henry VIII's wives at the top, picture in the middle, you've got the categories and the score down the side. Let me show you my first top trump. So here we have Catherine of Aragon. She was wife to Henry VIII, 1509 to 1533. Drawn a little picture of her in the middle. And then the categories down the side are children, nationality, power, public love, exit, likability, and total score. So for the children, how many children did she have, or which children did she have? So she had Mary I. So I gave her a 5 out of 10. Nationality, she's Spanish, and that was really powerful because Spanish were Catholic back then, so was the United Kingdom with Henry VIII, so I gave that a high score of an 8. Power, well, she was his first wife, so she would have been very powerful. She would have set off the romantic nature in Henry VIII, so I gave her a 7. Public love, because she was Catholic and she was keeping the country Catholic, I gave her another 8 out of 10. Exit, that category means how she got out of the relationship, so how it ended, and she was divorced, so I gave that a 6 out of 10. Likability, she was a very obedient wife. She did what Henry told her to do, which was very good back in those days for a wife, especially considering men were always so powerful, but she was also independent. She also did a lot of stuff by herself, in the sense of, I think she led one war at one stage as well, which was really, really good. So I gave her an 8 out of 10. So her total score was 42. So you give each score, so you give each category a score out of 10, and then your total is all the categories added together. The extra section, I've just done that in as a little bit of extra research, and she had a couple of sons, but they unfortunately died, so I thought that was a cool bit of information, that she didn't just have Mary. She also did have some sons, but unfortunately they passed away. So this side here, I've done a template for Anne Boleyn, 1533 to 1536. So I've just put the categories down. So children, so what children she had. Nationality, she was British. Power, she was very powerful because she persuaded Henry VIII to actually divorce Catherine of Aragon. So I would think she would have a very high score on that one. Public love, did the public like her? Exit, how she got out of the relationship or out of the marriage. Well, she was beheaded. Henry beheaded her, killed her. Likability, so how much do you like her? What did she do that you like? Her total score, and then an extra bit of information. So that's just Anne Boleyn's top trump. You've then got Jane Seymour. Jane Seymour was the wife that gave Henry VIII his son, Edward VI. Unfortunately, she died shortly after she gave birth to Edward VI. She was the only wife to share the grave of Henry VIII, so that's another cool bit of information. Then you've got Anne of Cleves. So Jane Seymour died. Anne of Cleves, she got divorced by Henry. Henry didn't like her because he didn't think she was very pretty. So again, you've got the same categories that you'd have to score out of 10, and then an extra bit of information. She was only his wife in 1540 till January till July, so not very long at all. Then you've got Catherine Howard, 1540 to 1542. Again, you've got the same categories as all the others. That's how you make it a fair game of top trumps, if all of the top trumps have the same categories. And again, you score them out of 10. Catherine Howard, she was very young when she married Henry. And then you've got Catherine Parr, so she was the 6th wife, 1543 to 1547. Again, you've got the same categories and you would score them out of 10. Now, the way you can find out the research is by Googling or researching the wives, or if you've got any information on Henry VIII and his wives in your house, if you've got any books or any texts on them, you could use that, or just type in Henry VIII's wives and loads of information does come up, which is really interesting. I've just got some basic information here for you that you could use if you did want to. So Catherine of Aragon, you've got her date. She gave birth to Mary I, she was Catholic, she later on became queen, also known as Bloody Mary. She was Spanish, she was divorced, and she was Catholic. Anne Boleyn, you've got the date. Her daughter was Elizabeth I. UK, she was British, she was beheaded, and apparently rumours were that she was a witch. Jane Seymour, the date, Edward VI. British, unfortunately died with complications of childbirth. She was the favourite, she was supposedly the favourite wife of Henry VIII. Anne of Cleves, only wife in 1540 between January and July. She didn't have any children. From Dusseldorf in Germany, I think. She was divorced. Henry didn't like her. She wasn't very pretty. Catherine Howard, 1540 to 1542. No children. British. Beheaded. She was very, very pretty. So it's almost like he's gone from not having a pretty wife to definitely wanting a pretty wife. And then the last one then, Catherine Parr, the sixth wife, 1543 to 1547. Didn't have any children, British, she survived, so Henry died while she was still king. Henry was getting old at this stage. A way you can remember the queens is divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. It's just a cool way to remember how the exit route of each wife when you're doing the top trump. So divorce, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. I'll also upload the templates for each of the top trumps if you do want to use them. It's just a bit of fun, relaxing information, and it's something that you can make that's quite cool but also meaningful because you're using your knowledge about each one and your research to actually rate the top trumps, and then you can actually play them then afterwards. So I'll upload the templates that I've used just as examples later on. But that's just an idea that you could use, making history. Well, I personally think history is really fun anyway because I find it so interesting, but it's almost like you're turning it into a game then by using the top trumps. Let me know how you get on.